Joining us from Capitol Hill, Republican Congressman Mark Sanford of South Carolina. How are you doing this morning? Thank you for being on.
My pleasure.
I guess first of all, I'd like you to comment on the events of the past 24 hours and also the conversation that you just heard Joe, Mike, and I having.
The last 24 hours have been somewhat surreal here on Capitol Hill. As Joe can attest, the idea of going off to practice for the congressional baseball game and having a shooter show up and shooting one member and shooting at others is about the last thing in the world you would think possible here in and around the Capitol. But it was what it was, and people are reacting to it. So I think the environment has been somewhat surreal. As to what you all were talking about, indeed, we're at an inflection point. There are forces at play that I've never seen before over the roughly 20 years I've been involved in politics. Joe and I came in together way back when, and it is indeed different. And I think we have to watch out as a society, because if we don't watch out, civility is indeed a part of civilized government and an open political system. And if you let these forces play out, I think we end up at a very, very bad spot. And I think what happened yesterday was symptomatic of it.
Go ahead, Harold.
Hey, Mark, good morning. Harold Ford.
Yes, sir.
Send my regards and prayers to everybody there. Two things. One, I grew up in Washington, as Joe was talking about that civility that existed. I watched Republicans and Democrats come through my home for dinner parties and attended school, elementary and middle and high school with colleagues, my dad's colleagues, Democrat, Republican alike. But we seem to have progressed to a point, you know, you have people getting elected to the Senate and the House in intramural fights saying, this person shouldn't be there because they work with the other party. It happens with Republicans, happens with Democrats. How do we dial that back? Do you see this moment being a big inflection point for a lot of things? But I hope it's an inflection point for a willingness for members of Congress to show that they can work together across the aisle, and perhaps for all of us to tamp down the rhetoric that you shouldn't be punished for wanting to work with the other side to get something meaningful done. You see that as being one of these moments that could be a catalyst for that?
I think so. I mean, there is some heavy soul searching going on right now, because it was so dramatic and because it was so out of the ordinary, and because people realized were it not for those two Capitol Hill police, it would have been a bloodbath. Maybe there would have been 15 or 20 members of Congress dead on a given day. And so I think that people are registering it as such. What, you know, the Speaker said yesterday, what Nancy said in reaction to what the Speaker said yesterday, I think is symptomatic of people saying, well, wait a minute, we got to find a way to slow this down. What I would say is, again, I was at a town hall meeting. I've done a number of town hall meetings over the last number of months back home. It was at a senior center, a retirement center, and what took place in terms of people saying certain things to each other was like out of a movie. And so we've got to find a way to dial this back. I would give an example of people trying to do that in a small way. There's a Climate Solutions Caucus here in the Congress, and what they said is, for every Democrat that goes on, you can't get on unless there's a Republican that goes with you. And I think there probably ought to be a little bit more pairing, whether it's on a caucus form or whether it's in legislative form here in Washington. I think people are going to be looking for ways to do just that.
Mark Halperin.
Congressman, what are you worried about today in the aftermath of yesterday?
That we won't learn from it. I mean, history is a great teacher if we look back and actually examine it. If we examine what, you know, Mika was talking just a moment ago, I would argue that the president has unleashed is partially, again, not in any way totally, but partially to blame for demons that have been unleashed, whether it's what I saw at a senior center back home and people saying F you and F you and F you to each other at a senior center, a retirement center, where they're going to see each other playing croquet the next day, or with what happened, again, not with what happened yesterday, but the fact that, you know, you've got the top guy saying, well, I wish I could hit you in the face, and if not, why don't you, and I'll pay your legal fees. That's bizarre. We ought to call it as such. And what I've said, you know, back home, when some of these people have been, frankly, weird and different in a town hall meeting, I said, what is going on? And they'll say, look, if the guy at the top could say anything to anybody at any time, why can't I? I think we all need to look for ways to learn from what happened yesterday and to say, wait a minute, this is a pause moment.
Yeah.
What might I do a little bit differently in the way that I reach out to other members?
Congressman Mark Sanford, thank you so much. And Joe.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.